to have you with us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Is the money that you pay for rent your money? Is it your money?
No.
It's not your money. It is for that African who woke up and sacrificed and put up his rentals. You're taking money. You understand? The money you eat is not your money. It is for that person who has sacrificed and put up a restaurant where you go and eat the one naturally jam. So you are going to move out of here, you are going to start getting salary, you are going to start getting money, but the question will be how much is your money? The money you pay to DSC is not your money. It's for the owner of DSC, whoever he is. Yet wherever you are, in your company, even right now in your hostel, you are paying the guy. It's not your money. So how much of your salary or your income is going to be your money? Is the money that you are going to save. That I'm going to save 100,000 per month for the whole time of period I'm going to be earning my job, and that is what is going to be accumulating your money. So the way you pay your landlord, you are going to learn to pay yourself. Saving is paying yourself. If you are going to move out of this university and you start getting a job and you are not going to save, that means you are not going to be paying yourself. So landlord will be happy, the water national will be happy for paying the bills, whatever will be happy, but you will never be happy. Statement one, smart, good, committed, number two is keep the money, keep 20%. And survive and live in the 80%. The problem with Uganda is his salary is 2 million, but his expenses likely is 4 million. So get it, number one. Keep it, number two. Keeping it is 20% and growing. Growing it involves making wise investment. That's why our boys and girls in the cloud.
What do you invest? What do you invest? The 20%?
The 20%, yes. Because you've gotten it 100%, you keep it by keeping 20%, then you grow the 20%.
What if you invest from the other 80%? Would it be offensive?
It will not be offensive, but we don't want, one of the things that why people fail to save is they chew more than they can buy. Or they buy more than they can chew. What am I saying? You can't be getting a salary of 1 million and you are going to save 50%. You understand? You cannot be consistent. There's what we call the 15 valuable laws of growth by Johnson Maxwell. One of them is law. Number one is law of consistency. You cannot be consistent by saving 50%. But if you can bring it to the limit, because some of us have lost some time and what? Punish yourself. You've had enough for it. There could be only day.
I want to put yourself in a situation of somebody like me.
Yes.
Who has already worked and has not yet saved it. Now you want to balance the equation. How will it apply?
You have to look into your financials, but the whole point is, that's what I'm saying, the principle is get 100%, keep 20%, consistent with yourself every month, okay? The 20% growing. Growing money is, that's when I teach you the investment scale, which has sections of high risk, high return, medium risk, medium return, and low risk, low return. So you have to know, because some of the Ugandans, they don't even, when I give you 10 million, what do you put it in? Is it high risk, high return? Of course, the risk is high, but the returns are high. What percentage of my 100 million I'm going to give you, I'm going to put in that section? Is it medium risk, medium return? Or low risk, low return? In low risk, of course, you never lose your money. Those are things like buying land, real estate. That's why each Ugandan who's rich must have real estate. They have building, they have land. When you see that some little boys find that he bought it years ago.
Myself, I am into several cash routes, and also at work we have savings culture and we have circles. So you have a certain percentage of your salary going to the circle, then you have these cash routes. I remember before COVID, I was faced with a situation where I managed to get that. But before that, I had some money coming in. Then I always wanted a plot of land at Jamaica. I'm from the east. So they told me that Ssengoba has a very good business. You can get it at 15 million. I said, no. I could afford the 15 million, but I wanted the other one. Now, by the time I realized I cannot be able to get it in Jamaica, now go back to 40. Now, what happened? In 2018, I pressed to look for land. I got 20 kilometers away from Kampala, that's where I bought land. But even before starting the construction, the cash loans I got in the same. They started the foundation. So I have a feeling that when you're tackling the cash loan issue, it's all about the culture that you input in yourself. It is not supposed to be spent. It can even save you on so many other expenses. Like
principle of 20%. So that 20% rule, it's there, you can set it, but how do you take that 20% to be? Remember, for any action, there is always a reason. So remember, when you want to save, first you have a motive. Why do you want to save? So that motive should be the reason for the action for you to save. So when you save that 20%, don't put your belief on the 20% that is going to specifically for this, but just have the reason for the what? For the saving. And the 80% that our presenter talked about, actually it can help you to guide yourself in any situation. For example, if you get a salary of 1 million and you find that you save the 20%, you find that this 30% you can use it for the things like rent, housing allowances, and the 50%, how do you use it? For our common Ugandans, we always use the 50% in Monday, but this 50% is left out for you to walk through the month until you get the what? The last salary. So for someone to save that 20%, I would advise you have to consider what are your assets and liabilities. In our simple term, I can define asset as something that brings money into your pocket, and the liability as something that takes away money from your wallet. So when you understand the cash flow and the outflow, meaning you understand your liability and the liability. For example,
they brought me to talk to you. Abawala abato temubeera wakakweba oli muwala wange omanyi temubeera wakakweba babuulira mulekeraawo okunyoma emirimu gezaako buli weetagisa okuba nti obaako nekyokola ki kyokola ate onoyiwa okontrolinga siringi 2 zino eza wansi this little money if you don't have control it, which it means even if you get a million obera zebogererako you will not spend it ngatategeera sente. You know why abantu bagamba nti sente za lote zirina mikisa? For example, you are lucky here of the one know how to apply. One is able to get back at the war state. Bank and area gamba nti afuna omulimu mu central bank is the way. But myaka ng'ebiri bajja okuwa mindset gy'olina ng'afu era ojja kulowoolereza mu bintu by'okola ki bino byabulijjo. Let me buy a big TV, the other was small. Let me take even the what? Nekana kakukawade kasomera wabi katutuseko grade kagende kasomere nenga you ask yourself wasomera wa okutuuka wa batononya wasomere mwaka kali na watu so
is turn up today. Thank you so much. Who's our chief guest? The Commissioner of Internal Trade, Mr. Kalega. Thank you so much. Hajji Bakaluba, who I know most of us are already very eager to hear from him. One of the most outstanding financial teachers, I could say, on the internet right now we have in our country, Uganda. I'd like to thank Mr. Aita also enabling to turn up today. Administrators present, Madam Salva, thank you for turning out for the students. And I just wish that all of us will take a leaf from all the wisdom that has been given us today. We know all the men we have before us and the ladies are great and they have a lot of knowledge to share with us. So, and we should be ready to tap from that fountain of knowledge. Take your notes, ask the questions or ask all the questions you need because you have the people to answer them right before you here.
To engage you this morning is to support this group. Support them on how they can. Some of them are young, they're just going into business. But others are mature people who are running businesses. Mohammed, put up your hand. And many, and his team. Others are mature people. IOU has a uniqueness which many people have discovered that our weekend classes are not classes for those who are starting. You'll find I have taught so many MPs here. I've taught for the last 15 years. I can mention that also. But I have taught MPs, I have taught commissioners, I have taught LC5 chairmen, I have taught councillors, I have taught politicians, I have taught government officers, including so many among them. Can you put up your hand, my friend, for recognition? And so many others. So I really love teaching the weekend class because they are mature, they understand. Some are richer than you, some are knowledgeable than you, some have money than the money that you have, but you must engage them. Some are retirees. Remember the couple we had last year, Salman, the retiree couple, above 60, both of them said, come back and do a degree. The wife and the husband. So they obey, yes, the two of them were here. And they gave us a very good part at the end. So I mean, but all the same, the concept of entrepreneurship cuts across. So our expectations are really to give you this practical end. This is our last class. We are starting exams next weekend. So we are just giving you that practical part of it, and that is what we expect from them. We like to, on behalf of the class, I'd like to thank you very much. On behalf of the class coordinators for all the groups, thank you for organizing.
I pray that after here, we are not going to be the same again.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of knowledge from practitioners, from good entrepreneurs. Our father here, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I think you have really inspired these people. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with you doing small jobs as long as you're getting money. You are better than someone who is cheating, who is stealing from others. However small the money may be, it is your money. Make that small money and you'll become big. But if you're dreaming of getting big money for you to start, I think you might not reach where you need to reach. Okay? So it is now that you need to start. Start now. Don't wait for tomorrow. You can't wait to get big money. If you want to get that big money, start with the little you have and you'll become a big person. So my director sent me also to thank you so much for organizing this. He hasn't been able to come because of so many commitments. Likewise, the deputy director was also unable to come because of other commitments he has. But I'm here. I had to be here for my people. These are my people. By the way, these students are very good. They are very cooperative. Whatever we talk about together, they really make sure it is implemented. Thank you.
Man doesn't think. You see, when we have activities going through our mind, we think that we are thinking. But those are simply activities. Thinking is a deliberate act. What differentiates a man from all animals is the ability to think, to use our brain. Whatever we have on our bodies, you can find in that pig or a horse. Now, details you need here, but the art of understanding, the art of knowing how to sell is how it makes someone feel. You see, when you go into an Indian shop,
The first thing when they see you coming is to give you a pot of water. This is a quick example I'm going to give you. And if you have a kid, what they do, they will get a sweet and give it to them. Now, this has been told. Now, I'm not going to tell you. Now, you see, an Indian person will take the kid from the age of 5 to their shop. You don't learn from what you've been told. You learn from what you see. You see, what controls your success is not the conscious mind. It is the subconscious mind. Because the subconscious mind takes on the small habits, slowly by slowly. That's why even when you say big dreams to someone who has already suffocated their subconscious mind with negativity, with an impossibility, it will never seem real to them. It will reject it immediately. If you want to know this, watch a horror movie, a severe horror movie before you go to sleep, and see the kind of dreams you're going to have. The subconscious mind is working even when you're sleeping. It's not resting. Are we getting it? And so it is controlling us, even in business. In Think and Grow Rich, if you go through all the chapters, you can see how personalities actually affect business. It's not what you know. You see, someone who uses their machine to think, which is the brain, even if they are not educated, they will beat you at the game. You is educated. You know why? They're using their machine to think rather than using it as a garage for facts. So are you living here to be practical, or you're living here with facts? Practical. Most of you are living with facts. Where we are right now, we don't use what we attended from our schools. Do you know why? We studied so much, and the purpose was to pass exams. Not to provide it. The purpose was to pass exams. And when you get out there, it is something totally different. Now I take you back to the Indian story. Someone gives you the water, and every time you come in, you're my friend, you like this one? This one is good. They are reading into your eyes. If you're not buying immediately, they'll bring out something. It is a skill they have already mastered. Okay? As they are trying to sell to you, they will be asking you where you're from. My friend, you're from Nigeria? From Nigeria? Oh, beautiful women there, beautiful women in Nigeria. They are trying to create a connection with you because they know everyone likes their belonging. They have mastered the art of selling. Now, when someone gives you just a bottle of water like that one, they call that. In your subconscious mind, they have already grabbed you. You owe them. You have drunk their water. For you to get out without buying anything, you feel guilty. So you're already trapped. So they're not looking at the 10,000. Are we together here? The guilt is already there. The subconscious now is set. This is now my friend. He's calling you your friend and he's telling you, for you, my friend, I'll give you this price. Now they have mastered the art of selling. When you go to a Ugandan shop, guess what they're doing? Go back to your WhatsApp. Same street, same store. Who do you think is going to sell more?
The Indian.
And if a Ugandan happen to sell, the next thing they are going to buy is a beautiful car. Guess what an Indian is going to do? is going to stay on Sokoto. And he will open up another branch. So he's having 2 outlets. And one thing they don't compromise is education. You see them taking their kids to other countries on scooter because they know how important education is. But at the same time, they know how the real world works. They calculate from everything. That's why they stay right in the city. For you to stay in Nigeria somewhere far, and you have to use your transport to come in here. They're already calculating. So in terms of return, what are we talking about? Is it about the brain? You tell me, what do you think it is? It is a skill. People get out of here and all they are consumed about is applying for jobs. You are applying for a job in a society where you are 100% sure that it is only 10% of the population which is employed. Look at the competition, and you are coming out without any experience, and you want to be part of that rat race. You want to be part of the game. That's why the girls are confused. That's why the boys are just going around in their 20s till they reach their 30s and the reality begins to hit in. The competition grows. Your best friend becomes your frenemy. You don't want to meet them. I remember I met a group of people like 10 years ago, they had a group of 5 young boys from university, and I told them that no good 20 friends can stay friends for more than 20 years. Let that sink in. All your friends in here, within 10 years, they're not going to be your friends. Write it down, after 10 years, you read it. Do you know what happens here? Reality starts, especially at 30. Someone who is serious has got a job. Someone who chose carefully is married to a good man. Life is going on. You see, when the status says before, it dictates that you have to conform.
You have to conform to the necessity.
You don't get all of them. But if you do the right things, if you are equipped with the right information at the beginning, I'm telling you, life is going to be easy for you. Don't joke with the 20s. 20s, that's where we make the most valuable decisions of our lives. That's when you're going to get someone to be married to, especially you guys. If you choose wrongly, you have messed up all your life. For the boys, go around all you want. When the 30s come, you are going to come to us. I want to tell you, or to teach you something before I sign off, which is a 10-year plan. You are in your 20s, but I want you to have something to show for the 10 years. Please, please, please. No one should lie to you that you're still young. That is the worst mistake you can do to yourself. I started working when I was 19 years. I had my first rentals when I was 21. Those who call me Hajji, I performed my Hajji when I was 21. Sponsored by myself.
Congratulations.
Okay? But that doesn't mean that I haven't faced challenges along the way. But we have certain goals. I pray that you understand what we mean by a 10-year program. You see, we are living in a society where the youth think that tomorrow they are going to get money. The reason why I'm telling you about 10 years, I have to be honest with you, no one in normal circumstances, gets reached less than 10 years. Now, look at the period. You have to wait. Look at the period. You have to exercise discipline. Look at the period where you have to grow. You say, I have a problem with you, educated people. I tell you that wherever I go to a second village, any given village, the landlords are the Hajjis, Ssengoba, and these people are not that educated. What causes that? You see, don't put your brain into the corporate life.
But if your friends are not serious people, you suffer. The company you keep is going to be very, very essential for you. Then strategy. What strategy do you make? I remember in our small office in 2008, without any serious business, I sat down and I was making strategy. We had not even gotten serious business in Uganda, but I was listing down the 10 countries Joada Consult must be in by 2025. That was the strategy we made in 2008. I'm glad to let you know, 2003, we're in 6. Next year we're adding 2. 2025 we're adding 2. We'll be in 10 African countries. That is strategy. Right from the university here. What are you thinking? What strategy are you making? You must start making business actually here within the university. A friend of mine came, just somebody who follows me on social media, he came recently crying about school fees. He's in UCU. No school fees, I'm suffering, things are bad. I think he expected maybe me to give him school fees. I receive a lot of those, so you can't meet all of those. You cannot really meet all of them. I gave him an advice. I said, young man, why don't you set up a printing and photocopy and all that at your school? Now, he realized that the university, if he can set up that, he's actually going to make a lot of money. Then I gave him a book, I gave him a copy of the book. Now, after like a month, let me read for you what he said to me. After a month, he said, "Good evening, Mr. Jaffa. I began a printer business at Metropolitan University in Kisoro. It's 2 weeks now. I earn 200,000 to 300,000 daily. I am, however, finding it hard to handle the cash. This is the headquarters. I bought an HP color LaserJet, bought a new Dell desktop. I sold 2 cows to raise the capital. I'm expanding, but truthfully speaking, handling this money is hard. I am confused." Is that a good problem? Now, all of a sudden, from a very poor boy, the man was receiving 300,000 every day.
We had a dentist, had a problem, a family dentist. This guy was very bright. When I sat down with him and we were talking about family issues, he told me, you know what? You have a big challenge. I asked him, what's the problem? You see these 2 brothers you have? Everyone in your family is thinking you're the brightest, you're the most successful. But these guys are going to give you a challenge. They are going to give you a run for your money. Because when we were at university, we used to brag, most of you who have just entered university, you keep on thinking other people have never been to the university. I'm not talking about mature entrants, those ones who have entered through from senior 6. When we were in Lumumba, I was in Lumumba Hall. When we were in Lumumba, we used to think we were on top of this world. we used to think no one else had ever been to the university. But we would go for certain functions, we would go for family gatherings, and my brothers would make contributions, and I didn't have a single coin. So that's why when I started that business by second year, I went and sat down with them, and I knew I had to change my mindset. And I can tell you, by second year, Makerere University in Lumumba, I bought myself a car. Because from my own sweat. And the first time I drove home to go and visit my dad, he asked me, whose car is this? And I told him it was my car. He called me aside. What are this? Because he couldn't believe I was just a plain student. And I told my dad when I was entering university, thank you for all you've done. I'm going to take it up from here. And from the time I entered university, I never got any single coin from my dad again. Not even a single coin. I decided to work for myself. But the difference is, and something I want you to know, don't make a career in education. Do you understand what I mean by that? So many people go, you get your undergraduate, you get your postgraduate, you get your master's, and you keep on looking for so many opportunities. Every single scholarship which comes up, you want to go back and study. Always study for a reason. Don't take up any opportunity. They provided this kind of scholarship. Let me run and answer. What is studying? Entrepreneurship is about creating a business venture with the aim of making a profit or solving a problem. So when you go to school and study and there's a reason you study, please focus on that. And when you can make something out of that, you don't need to keep on, there's life to live. I have a different perspective. When you look at man, you say he's a doctor. I have a very different perspective about life. Why do we study? We study to make our lives better. So whenever there is that connection you have, don't venture, don't make a career out of education. Do something, start up something, and I'm telling you, whatever employment you get, you will never be a rich person unless you steal.
Because government looks at the additional services trade. People are in transport. People give education services like the institution you are in here. So that is also another area that the government is looking at that particular aspect. But of course, government has also put in programs that you should be able to benefit from. This is the parish development model. I don't know whether you have heard of it. Government is giving resource, financial support at parish level.
I think the best way to do it, I will call upon all of them to come here and introduce themselves. That's the best way to do it.
Ayonga Kuduru.
Dear colleagues, you can come.
Turning up with your numbers, you made us joyous. I would like to thank my team, the team I've got to lead, from the president, the treasurer. He has been too honest that not even a single penny was lost. We do not collect money from each and every individual, but rather there are certainly few individuals who came out to support in this function. I would like to, I won't mention all of them, but again, I want to thank them in such an extraordinary way.